Genital hair removal is extremely common nowadays. In fact, I estimate that over 50% of people under 50 employ some form of hair removal over the privates and the areas around the privates. In this video, I'll discuss the best ways and the gentlest ways of removing hair around the genitals and why you shouldn't do it. Before we get started, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to share and like this video. Now let's get going. So genital hair removal is all the rage. All the cool kids are doing it, sort of. And I wanted to discuss the best way of removing hair from the privates. Now, as it is with any hair removal technique, the emphasis should be on the fact that these are naturally abrasive techniques and they can severely injure the skin overlying the area, leading to sensitivity, even irritation, and other skin conditions. So when removing hair, that's what should be at the forefront of your mind. You want to decrease the irritation, decrease the friction and any other abrasive elements to the actual method. And you want to follow up with a moisturizing element right on top of it, such as petroleum jelly. So when looking at hair removal for men, the number one way of removing hair over the male genitals is trimming. You need to consider that the trimmer is an abrasive device. Just by gliding it over the skin of the area, you're actually creating physical friction, and that can lead to severe irritation of the area as well as pseudofolliculitis. So make sure that your trimmer is well oiled and that the blades are sharp rather than bland. And also consider using a guard so you're not as close to the skin to decrease the drag factor. Once you're done trimming, don't forget to apply a thin layer of white petroleum jelly to take the edge off. Shaving is another method of removing hair around the male genitals. Always remember to use a sharp razor blade, maybe a multi-blade system, and use shaving gel or shaving cream to decrease the physical friction involved with moving the blade over the area to trim the hairs. Once you're done shaving, dab the shaving gel or the shaving cream gently off the skin, and don't forget to apply a layer of occlusive moisturizer such as petroleum jelly or our shea butter balm. Nair or depilatory creams contain active ingredients such as calcium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, thioglycolic acid, and calcium thioglycolate. These are all used to break the hair down chemically and remove it. What can happen with depilatory creams is that those can lead to severe chemical burns over the treatment areas. So be sure to use the products for as short a time as possible and deactivate them promptly to make sure that you're just getting rid of the hair and not getting rid of some extra skin on top of that. Always be sure to wash the area up with water to get rid of any residual product and apply a moisturizing element right after that to take the edge off and restore the skin barrier. Laser hair removal is last on our list of techniques to remove hair off the male genitals. It's an extremely effective technique and long-lasting at that. Check out with your dermatologist to see if you're a good candidate for laser hair removal. And don't forget to apply a layer of moisturizer right after the procedure to take the edge off and restore the skin barrier as well. When it comes to women, the techniques are a little bit different considering the anatomy of the area. Waxing is a very effective technique of removing hair from large areas around the groin folds and the privates themselves. This technique can be very irritating to the skin, so be mindful of the type of wax and type of strips you're using, and always apply a moisturizing element at the end of the procedure. Shaving works for women just as well as it works for men. Just remember to use sharp blades. Remember to use a shaving cream or a shaving gel to decrease that friction factor. And once you're done shaving, dab off the cream or the gel. Maybe rinse the area off with lukewarm water, and do not forget to apply that moisturizer, either white petroleum jelly or a product like our shea butter balm, to help restore the skin barrier. And finally, laser hair removal works just as well for women as it does for men. This is a highly effective technique and long-lasting at that, meaning the follicles are actually obliterated in the course of the treatment through overheating, and many of them are actually destroyed in the process. That's why the treatment actually achieves long-lasting results, weeks and sometimes even months, and when repeated over time, it can actually achieve permanent hair loss over the treatment areas. So do not despair. Don't forget to treat the area as you would with any abrasive technique, moisturizing the area, restoring the skin barrier with either petroleum jelly or our shea butter balm. And now is for why you shouldn't shave or remove hair from the privates. Not too many people realize this until they actually go ahead and remove hair, that can actually result in many different complications. First of all, you are actually getting rid of an element that cushions the area, and that actually is very helpful when having sex. Sex can be a pretty rough activity, and the cushioning that the hair provides for both men and women can actually mitigate physical irritation of the skin and maybe even injury to soft tissue underneath the skin. So that is actually a pretty helpful thing to have if you're sexually active. Another thing to consider is that removing hair from the area actually leads to increased sensitivity of the skin. And I don't mean sensitivity of the good kind. This is not sexual sensitivity or erotic sensitivity, but rather sensitivity of the kind that actually makes the skin more unpleasant, more irritating, and can actually decrease your tolerance of anyone touching the area, or worse, lead to physical irritation and persistent irritation or eczema over the area. Shaving can also lead to issues such as pseudofolliculitis, which is irritation around the hair follicles due to repeat trauma, which is often related to shaving, and that can create a whole problem by itself, which can make the area very unappealing, very unpleasant for the user, and pretty hard to treat and challenging to treat at that. And finally, removing hair off the privates does actually increase the risk of infection, whether it's infection from injuries related to shaving or infections such as genital warts, which appear to be more likely to develop over areas where the hair was removed, probably due to undermining of the skin's resilience to catching that sort of an infection. The bottom line is that shaving over the privates leads to many different complications potentially for the user, and that's why I recommend not removing hair categorically. And if you are determined to remove hair over the privates, be mindful of those issues and tread lightly. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to share and like this video. For more information about skincare scams, shenanigans, and tomfoolery, not to mention how to shave the privates and other areas of the skin, pick up my book, Sick Skin, Skincare Made Simple on Amazon.com, now available in audio. Thanks for watching. God bless.